Breaking right now at 4:30, Danny Solis, former alderman-turned-FBI mole, is on the stand in the federal corruption trial of former alderman Ed Burke.
The defense is expected to spend hours questioning Solis about recordings that he made of his conversations with Burke.
We want to bring in CBS 2 legal analyst Irv Miller at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse. Irv, Solis famously recorded conversations with Burke that have become the crux of the prosecution's case. What exactly does the defense hope to accomplish by putting him on the stand?
Jim, I wish I knew the answer to that question. As I was sitting there listening to a couple hours of testimony, all the lawyers looked at each other and said, what relevance is this? And all the civilians that were sitting around us were saying, wow, what a great job the defense lawyer's doing in the case. I can't figure out as a lawyer what the advantage was to put him on the stand.
Irv, there has been a lot of back and forth leading up to this about what exactly the defense could ask Solis. So what has been their line of questioning today, and what is off limits going forward?
You know, they're trying to dirty him up, saying he's not credible, he's a liar. It was his idea to do this whole thing. But frankly, that's irrelevant in this case. This is not a case where the alderman is saying he was entrapped by the government, and it doesn't make any difference if Solis is the biggest liar on the face of the earth. The conversations are on tape, and the jury is going to has heard all those conversations, and there's some things in those conversations that the alderman just can't explain. The comment about the tuna and that the cash register hasn't rung yet. Those are words that is impossible to explain in an innocent manner. So I think that's what the problem is going forward in this case.
Irv, one last question. What was Solis like on the stand? Was he nervous? Did he speak slowly? How was his behavior?
You know, he spoke very slowly. He didn't remember a lot. A lot of times the questions had to be repeated over and over again. There were a lot of I don't remembers, I don't recall, and his memory had to be refreshed by the transcripts. So I can't say he came across as a good witness. He's certainly a reluctant witness, but you know, he's there for one reason for the defense, and that's to try to dirty him up, and it doesn't make any difference if he got dirtied up or not.
Our CBS 2 legal analyst Irv Miller. Irv, thank you as always for your insight and for being with us tonight.